Well, a very good afternoon to you, and we bid you welcome to the African News and Voice of V. I am David Edwin. Before we begin the news, we would urge you to kindly visit our website, www.vop.ng, for fresh and trending stories. We begin the African news in Namibia, where Namibians will go today to the polls to elect a new president and parliament in what could be a tough decision for the ruling SWAPO party, which is seeking to extend its 34-year rule. SWAPO has governed the Southern African nation since leading it to independence from apartheid South Africa in 1990. Its presidential candidate, Vice President Netombo Nandi Ndaitwah, would be the country's first female leader if she wins. Political pundits say the high unemployment rate, inequality, and corruption allegations have led to disenchantment with the ruling party, especially amongst the youth, but with long-standing loyalty to SWAPO among older and rural voters could help it pull through. Leading the pack of 14 opposition candidates is dentist-turned-politician Panduleni Itula, who came in second in the last election in 2019. Namibia is currently led by interim president Nangolo Mbuba, who took over in February after former president Hage Geingob died. To be elected president, a candidate must get more than 50% of votes, otherwise there will be a second round of voting. Namibians are also voting for the National Assembly positions. About 1.4 million persons are registered to vote, according to the Electoral Commission. Results are expected within a few days. And from one election martyr to another, but this time in Ghana, President Akufo-Addo has emphasized the importance of electing a leader capable of building on the achievements of his administration and bringing fresh ideas to drive Ghana's economy's transformation. Speaking to professionals, groups in Kumasi, during his 3-day tour of the Ashanti region, the president expressed confidence in Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the NPP presidential candidate, as the right choice to lead the country into the fourth industrial revolution. The meeting also provided an opportunity for President Akufo-Addo to thank various professional associations for their support throughout his tenure. He praised Dr. Bawumia's integrity and vision, highlighting his ability to build on the progress made and further propel the nation forward. Acknowledging the challenges Ghana has faced, the president assured that the country had made significant strides in many various sectors, including education, healthcare, and infrastructure, while the importance of continuing this progress. President Akufo-Addo also highlighted the success of the free SHS policy, which has benefited over 5.7 million Ghanaians, and called on the public to protect these social interventions, which have improved the lives of many citizens across the country. Well, still in Ghana, the Central Regional Police Commander, Deputy Commissioner of Police Kofi Addo, has assured Ghanaians of the police readiness to maintain peace and order during the upcoming elections. Speaking at a press briefing in Cape Coast, he emphasized a zero-tolerance approach to any attempts by macho men to disrupt polling activities, warning that such actions could be firmly addressed. DCOP Addo highlighted the importance of collaboration between the police, media, and other stakeholders to ensure smooth elections. He announced that liaison officers have been appointed to work closely with the media to tackle security concerns and curb misinformation. He urged media personnel in the region to maintain professionalism and avoid inflammatory reporting that could incite violence, stressing that peaceful elections are the nation's best interest. From Ghana, we move straight to Ethiopia, where 2 Ethiopian nationals aged 27 and 47 years old were arrested after they were found with large amounts of cash and counterfeit goods hidden in a panel van branded like an ambulance. They are expected to appear in the White River Magistrate Court after they were found with large amounts of money and counterfeit goods worth around 10 million rands. Mpumalanga Hawks spokesperson Captain Dino Sekotodi said the accused, aged 27 and 47 years old, were arrested on Tuesday at Rocky's Drift in White River. She said the arrest comes after information was received and operationalized by crime intelligence members regarding suspicious activities happening in White River industrial area. Sekotodi said the members kept observation and gathered information which led to the operation. She added that during the search, 2 male Ethiopians were found in a possession of 2 Fortuna vehicles loaded with different counterfeit products. The suspects couldn't provide a clear explanation of the item. Sekotodi added that as they are searching, a large amount of money was found inside the 2 Toyota Fortuna vehicles. And in South Sudan's presidency on Tuesday sought to allay fears of unrest in Juba, assuring citizens that the situation in the capital remained calm and peaceful despite rumors of tension at the South Sudan People's Defense Forces, that's the SSPDF headquarters in Bilpam. The reassurance follows last week's heavy gunfire, an attempt to arrest former National Security Service head General Akol Kor. Residents of Juba, a city that has witnessed large-scale violence in the past, expressed fears of resurgence of conflicts amid the recent development. On Tuesday, rumors spread suggesting that SSPDF Chief of Defense Forces General Santino Dengwall had suspended the military's Chief of Intelligence, Major General Machar Stephen, and ordered his disarmament. The rumor further claimed that General Machar resisted the suspension and consolidated his forces in Bilpam and nearby areas such as New Site, allegedly escalating tensions. The speculation caused alarm across the city, prompting vendors and pedestrians to leave areas like Customs and Koyonkonyo markets earlier in a chaotic manner to head home. In a statement issued by the presidency, officials denied the claims and emphasized the stability of the city. It called on the public to dismiss unverified information aimed at instilling fear and disrupting daily lives. And from Sudan, we go to Egypt, where Egyptian naval forces have rescued 5 persons and recovered 4 bodies a day after a tourist yacht carrying 44 passengers sank in the Red Sea coastal town of Masar Alam. The development brings the total number of survivors to 33, while 7 remains missing. The boat carried 13 Egyptians, including crew members, and 31 foreign nationals from the United States, Germany, United Kingdom, Poland, Belgium, Switzerland, Finland, China, Slovakia, Spain, and Ireland. The German Foreign Ministry said on Tuesday that 3 Germans remain missing, while 3 others have been rescued. Meanwhile, Paweł Drozki, Poland's Foreign Ministry spokesman, said 2 Polish nationals, a man and a woman, are also missing and that their families have been notified. Data from the operator's website indicated that the boat had no technical problem and was last checked for naval safety in March 2024. Masar Alam is renowned for its pristine beaches, a wide variety of marine life, and regular shark sightings, particularly the curious oceanic white tip, drawing in scuba diving enthusiasts worldwide. The Egyptian ministry is also involved in coordinating the rescue operations. Meanwhile, the death toll in Tanzania's building tragedy in Dar es Salaam on November the 16th has risen to 29, with 9 more bodies discovered. Chief government spokesperson Tobias Makuba has confirmed the number of casualties at a news conference in the Karioko neighborhood, expressing condolences to the families of the victim. He said that the two buildings adjacent to the collapse, one will remain closed until the evacuation is completed. Makoba also confirmed that rescue operations have concluded, with ongoing efforts to identify the newly recovered bodies using DNA technology. The building, which is located in one of Dar es Salaam's busiest markets, collapsed on the morning of November the 16th, and 88 people were rescued after a coordinated effort by local emergency services and volunteers. The Speaker of the Tanzanian Parliament, Tulia Ackson, has announced the death of the World Health Organization's Regional Director-elect for Africa, Dr. Faustin Ndongwili. The Speaker disclosed in a statement that Dr. Ndongwili died while receiving medical treatment in India. Ackson further disclosed that plans to repatriate the body of Tanzanian's Dr. Ndongwili is underway, adding that funeral plans could be announced later. Ndongwili served as a member of parliament for Kigamboni constituency in Tanzania's commercial capital, Dar es Salaam. He was also the Eastern African country's health assistant minister between 2017 and 2020, and the information and communication minister until 2021. He also was elected as the World Health Organization's African director in August and was set to start his new role in February 2021. Well, joining us now to make sense of these stories and more is Barrister Darlington Agumo, Voice of the People TV's in-house political analyst and a barrister by law. Barrister, a very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, David. And how are you?
Fine, very well, thank you. How are you doing as well, Barrister?
I'm okay.
All right, let's get to it almost immediately. Elections are on the way in some parts of Africa, and we're going to kick it off in Namibia. As it stands, Namibians are already heading to the polls today to carry out their civic duty. And there is the possibility that, of course, the SWAPO ruling party that have governed the Southern African country would most likely be elected again. What do you think would be the outcome of the election in Namibia, following the fact that this is a female representative that the ruling party is pushing forward?
David, it's unfortunate that what you call election in Africa is most times selection or even appointment, because we don't actually do election.
How do you mean, Barrister?
Our elections are marred with violence. Violence. And this violence, it is only the person with the upper hand or the person that have enough money to pay more political talks that will win it. That is what is going on. If I use Nigeria as a case study,
okay,
that's what is going on here. So when Sam Nujoma founded SWAPO, this was not his original plan. It was after that man died that these things are going on.
What do you think was his original plan of
yes,
the SWAPO party?
Yes, a peaceful Namibia, a peaceful Nigeria, and a progressive Nigeria. Namibia, go and check. During his time, go and check. There was no, this type of thing is not done. It was this SWAPO that spearheaded their independence. This SWAPO.
Now, Barrister, one of the situations that might go against the ruling SWAPO party is the fact that, according to political pundits, there's been a level of unemployment, inequality, and, of course, corruption allegation in the country. Now, to think that SWAPO is fielding the vice president, I'm talking about Netombo Nandi Ndiatwa, do you think that she would gain some popularity with the people, owing to the fact that she's a female, just to start off with?
It depends on what the ruling party has done so far.
Okay.
All the allegations, because somebody must accuse you of something when it comes to politics.
Right.
You can never find a saint in politics. It's not possible. So it is left for the people to decide if this particular SWAPO has done so well for them. If it has not done well, then whether she's a female or a male, it doesn't matter. What matters is somebody that will give the people good governance. And if SWAPO have provided it, then there's no need to changing a willing team.
Okay, so, but Barrister, as it stands, it's quite a bit interesting to know that SWAPO has been in power for over 34 years since independence. Isn't it about time that they experience some level of change? One of the reasons why I'm saying this is because the youths in Namibia are presently complaining of corruption allegation and, of course, disenchantment with the ruling party. But the ruling party has gained more popularity among the older and rural voters. So would these reasons stand a positive chance for Mrs. Netumbo, I beg your pardon, who is coming under the SWAPO party?
You see, the world has moved on, though. We are no longer depending on the old people to show us the way. If the youths are not
involved,
if they are not comfortable with SWAPO, they can change them.
By their vote, you mean?
Yes, by their vote, yeah, because the future belongs to the youth.
Okay.
If the SWAPO have not done so well for the youth, then they are the ones who are going to vote. Instead of fighting or, rioting and committing all sort of things, let them go to the vote and vote. Their vote will count here.
Now, interestingly, Barrister, the economic outlook of Namibia seemed to be gaining momentum. As of 2023, the economy grew by 4.2% according to the World Bank. And this seemed to be a major impact when it comes to the funding that Namibia have been gaining within the mining industry. Because basically, they got all of this increase, the 4.2% increase in 2023, driven by the mining sector and, of course, including the investment in oil exploration. Do you think a female presidency would do the magic in Namibia, owing to the fact that she also have been in power with the current president?
You see, the issue of whether she's a woman or not does not come in here. What comes in is competence. Competence and ability to deliver. If the SWAPO find her very competent, why not? Why not? So far, SWAPO has tried for Namibia. They have utilized their mineral resources.
The mining industry, yes.
Mining industry, yeah, they have used it so well.
Including oil exploration.
Yes, all like what's going on in DR Congo. So I think maybe based on this, they may give them a chance, until when because change is constant. Maybe when SWAPO now misbehave, the people can now change them. Because SWAPO may bring up a leader tomorrow who may not be in the order of Sam Nujoma or this present administration. And that is where the problem may come in.
Now, still looking at, because we're still looking at Namibia and, of course, her economic development. Sometime in 2009-2010, Namibians living below the national poverty line, Barrister, was around 28.7% in 2009 and 2010. Moving forward to 2015 to 2016, the figure reduced by some very interesting amount. It reduced to 17.4% from 28.7% to 17.4%.
What is
Namibians living below the national poverty line. Now, this seemed like a major improvement that SWAPO have been doing over time. Do you think the people would want to even imagine of wanting to go below this part that they have gotten thus far?
As long as they are making progress, there is no state or no environment where you see that everybody is rich. Even the Bible said that you will always find the poor among you. It is the level of poverty that we are talking about here.
Yes.
Is it so poor that they cannot find even 1 square meal? That is where the problem comes in. But if maybe they can afford to eat 3 square meal, maybe they have a robust agricultural ministry that is doing well with the agriculture and people can feed. Violence and other things may reduce.
Okay.
But where there is abject poverty, that you cannot see to eat, you cannot see to sell, you cannot see to buy, no job, nothing, even the farm, you can't go like in Nigeria. That is where the problem comes. So if Namibia have done so far, I mean, if SWAPO have done so far for Namibians,
yes,
they should give them a chance instead of changing a winning team.
Well, I truly would also want to align with you. But then again, let's look at their currency, Barrister. 1 Namibian dollar equals 0.055 to a dollar, to a US dollar. Okay. Now, that simply means that it's almost to $1 to a Namibian dollar. Just opposing it to what we find in Nigeria. Barrister, Namibia does not have enough oil exploration, just like Nigeria does. Do you think that as it stands, countries like Nigeria can emulate such heavy development that Namibia has currently done?
My dear, the best way to gauge or to assess or to determine your progress economically is your currency. If your currency is worth nothing, then you are not making any progress. But in the case of this small South African nation, it's even an embarrassment to compare them with Nigeria. I'm telling you.
How do you mean, Barrister?
Because the exchange rate there is almost 1 naira to a dollar. What is the own exchange rate? With what is going on in Nigeria today, can it ever come to that? Can it ever? Even 50 naira to a dollar. Can it ever? So please give it to them. The party in leadership there, they are trying for them to keep this exchange rate as the way it is. They are trying. That's why I told you that when Sam Nujoma founded SWAPO to lead their country and all that, the man, a very refined gentleman, he was not after, greedy acquisition of wealth and all that.
Yes.
They came in with the patriotic spirit to lead their country. And the result is what you are seeing today. That's what you are seeing.
Barrister, Namibia is a country of over 3,030,131 persons. Not as big as even a local government in Lagos State. Yet they could harness their oil exploration. How can Nigeria, being the giant of Africa by numbers and even by human resources, do better to live up to the expectation of that name being the giant of Africa?
It's a tall order.
How tall is this, Barrister?
Very tall. Very tall, seriously.
And why are you saying it's a tall order?
Because look, when you have a patriotic leader, I've just been mentioning this man, Sam Nujoma. I know him very well. I know when the struggle was going on. I know the role the man played. He's the one that laid the foundation of what you're seeing today. Seriously. He's the one that laid the foundation. That's why I'm telling Namibia, please don't change this winning team because you don't know who is coming. So comparing them with Nigeria is a no-no. It's not even possible. I'm telling you.
Oh, well, Barrister, let's move.
Because what you have here are looters. Shameless looters. Shameless. They are not even ashamed. They are not even ashamed. How much did Sam Nujoma make before he died? Go and check the record. Even this South Africa we are comparing here today. Nelson Mandela, when he ruled as the first president of a black United Africa, South Africa.
Yes.
What did he leave office with? Nothing. Only $4 million that he gave to the family as what? As inheritance. Nothing else. This is a man who's supposed to have, in fact, immediately he came out, he would have rewritten their constitution and said, look, only members of my family will become president in this country. Because he went to jail for 27 years. My dear, we don't have leaders here, seriously.
Barrister, let's move away from Namibia and, of course, come to Ghana because elections, like I said earlier before we started this analysis, that elections are ongoing in most African countries. Now, in Ghana, December the 7th, they all go to the polls in Ghana to decide who would be their next president and, of course, members of the parliament. The president, the sitting president presently, has said that Ghanaians should make crucial decisions when it comes to the future revolution that they are clamoring for. The person of President Akufo-Addo talking to solidarity and support of his vice is that some level of confidence that he knows for a fact that his vice will do even much more better than he is.
Yes, it's good. It shows leadership because you are a worse leader if you don't have somebody that can take over from you. You are not a leader. As you are in office, you must be grooming somebody, either within or outside your party, to take over so that the country can move forward. It's not about you, it's about the country. That's what most people don't know. Here, the reverse is the case. You know, people believe it is their party. Meanwhile, your party is not moving forward. Your party is not doing anything fantastic. Yet, you insist. You insist. You're always afraid of your party members to take over from you when you are leaving office because you don't want to be exposed. My dear, I don't know how to describe the situation in Nigeria, seriously.
Now, Barrister, looking at the fact that Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia is coming up against a major opposition like John Dramani Mahama, do you think that he stands a chance, knowing for a fact that Mahama is also popular, even as an opposition leader before now?
No matter how popular you are, it is the people that will determine. It's as simple as that. The people, and I know that in Ghana, their vote to count. David, in Ghana, their vote to count. Okay. Their vote to count. Go and check their record. Unlike you here. So the people of Ghana will decide. It's not a question of you to go and do campaign and gather crowd and all that. No. I pray that the virus in Nigeria will not catch up with Ghana. I just pray. So that we can only use them as a good example in West Africa. I'm not joking. I pray that the electoral virus in Nigeria will not catch up with Ghana. So that Nigeria will go there and learn how to conduct election.
Well, but Barrister, as it stands, in Ghana, I'm trying to reel out some interesting facts here. The current account surplus rose to 1.5% of GDP in 2023. This is a significant boost from what was a zero for them before, with reserves increasing to 5.9 billion, I beg your pardon, $6.9 billion when it comes to the foreign reserves of Ghana. And that's a country of less than 34 million people. Barrister, what are they doing right that African leaders are also supposed to emulate at this time? Because Ghana seems like the country that a lot of persons are talking about.
David, since you have been hearing of Ghana leaders, have you heard of any Ghana leader committing the act of corruption that you are hearing in Nigeria? I mean, total profligacy.
Why do you think that difference is there? Why do you think that difference at this
Because you don't choose good leaders in Nigeria. You choose charlatans who came to deceive you. Ghanaians know what they want. That's why they are careful. They choose those who are coming to work with them. That's the difference here. Because you cannot give a thief your property and expect it to be intact when you want to take it. It's not possible. Then that person is no longer a thief. In Nigeria, you have looters. They are not even ashamed. Okay, look at it. You are just hearing today that the new jet Tinubu bought, it was not even appropriated. He's not even presented to the National Assembly.
Yes.
He just willingly took money and go and buy the jet.
Barrister,
he told the CBN governor and the Minister of Finance, yes, these are the two who will give him that money.
Now, Barrister, as it stands, what's the implication of such actions? Knowing for a fact that the National Assembly are also supposed to carry out this level of functionality towards the executive.
So when I told you that you don't have a National Assembly, you didn't believe me, Abi. This is a very good example Try this thing in America and see what the Congress will do. Then it's not even possible. No, as powerful as an American president is, he dare not remove $1 for whatever reason without it's not possible.
Isn't this an indictment on this administration that has carefully said that they would be fighting corruption and, of course, reducing cost of governance, Barrister?
But you can see. Whatever they're telling you, they are doing the opposite. You can see. So whenever I'm telling you something like that, I have my facts. Forget about that. See, this is a man who came to reform. Oh, you came to reform. You came to reform, Abi, and you are using our money anyhow as if the money is your own. Then the National Assembly should be disbanded. If they can no longer checkmate the executive, let them be disbanded now. They had this thing that this is what this man did, and nobody is talking of impeachment.
But Barrister, interestingly, one would want to ask, what is the economical implication of buying such an amount of private jet to the economy? And of course, knowing for a fact that this is taxpayers' money, what's the economic implication of all of this going forward?
The economic implication is enormous. That means there are so many other things that Tinubu have been doing with our money that we don't know. I'm telling you. It means that our money is not even safe with Tinubu. If he could go as far as doing this, then he could have done other things. Maybe in future when somebody will now leak it or reveal it, that's when you will know. It's a very serious implication. Our money is not safe with Tinubu. He can use it anyhow. And he's still telling us, things that he wants us to hear.
Barrister, bringing it back to Ghana, a Ghanaian $1 is equivalent to 15.6 Ghanaian cedis.
15?
Yes. Economically, it simply means that when it comes to currency depreciation, Ghanaian cedis is far above the Nigerian naira. The Nigerian naira, as at this moment, is about 1,698 naira. Barrister, looking at both economies, would Nigeria still say that economically we are the giant of Africa?
They can't. In fact, they don't even know to say it because 4 other countries have taken over. We used to be number 1. Now we are number 4, and by next year we will enter number 5. So
why this slope down, Barrister?
Because you don't know. You don't have leaders who will lead you economically, politically, otherwise. You don't have leaders. Those countries that overtook us, is it not leadership that made it possible? It's leadership. They manage the economy.
Barrister, let's help Africans and Nigerians understand what it is. There is a CBN Act that says the country cannot borrow more than what it is pegged with the CBN. That's about ₦1 trillion, if I'm not wrong. Now, we have borrowed far more than that. And of course, right now, there is a private jet, like you just alluded some few minutes ago, that was bought by the presidency without being allocated for. Barrister, the money that was used to buying this private jet, isn't this a reason for Nigerian National Assembly to call the Minister of Finance to order?
Right now, we don't even know where Tinubu sourced the fund, either from CBN or you call the man himself.
Immunity can cover the man. Let's start.
But immunity don't say you should not investigate him. You only said that you cannot take him to court. But he can be investigated for any infraction he committed while in office.
So the Minister of Finance should be let free?
Why? Because you don't know who gave him the money now. You don't know whether it's the Minister of Finance or CBN. Any other. All you need to do, you call the man, come. This toy you bought, who gave you the money? How did you get it? Because we did not approve any money here for you to buy this thing. Is that not enough reason to call him? Instead of looking for, if you now call CBN and say, I don't know anything, you call Minister of Finance, say, I don't know anything. Say, what are you not going to do? You now leave him alone, Abi? No, call him. He's the one enjoying the toy. So call him. Let him come and explain to us.
Assistance, Barrister. we can go on and on about this, but then still bringing it back to Ghana. The Central Regional Police Commander in Ghana, Deputy Commissioner of Police Kofi Addo, has assured Ghanaians that the police is ready to maintain peace and order during and, of course, the upcoming election. Owing to what he said, in his words, he said there would be zero tolerance approach to any attempt by macho men. Barrister, that statement is laced with so many undertone. But one of the things I want to find out from you right now is there the possibility that the Deputy Commissioner of Police in Ghana knows a bit more about some things that might happen during the election when it comes to security matters?
There is no security black spots that any police officer is not aware of in any country, in any environment. That's why they are called police. They ought to know all the black spots. They ought to know even some individuals. So, what is strange about it? He's even warning them ahead of time so that if they are planning mischief, they will put it in their pocket.
Okay.
Until after the election. And that's a fact. That is better. That's good. And that's good because what they said, they are going to match it with action during the election proper.
Okay.
Ghana election does not turn into a war zone like Nigeria. I've not had.
Oh, well.
It's not going to start today with this coming one. So they have imbibed some level of maturity when it comes to election.
Okay. All right, still talking about security, we'll be moving straight to South Africa, where 2 Ethiopians were arrested with counterfeit goods and, of course, money in a fake ambulance. Barrister, it seems like some of these men are devising new means of looting. And, of course, according to this report, it was said that they were found with large amounts of money and counterfeit goods worth 10 million rands in South Africa. I mean, these are Ethiopians, 2 of them. What do you think is going to be the outcome of these ones that have been apprehended?
They will be prosecuted because South Africa is not DR Congo. They don't play because they know that the economy depends on those mineral resources. Is that not true? So anybody coming to commit any infraction there will not go free. South Africa has so far managed that mineral resources. So they wouldn't want anybody to play joke with it.
Right.
The money you saw is, of course, when you have non-state actors going into this kind of business, their money doesn't go through the financial, system. It doesn't. They carry money around because that's what their business is, cash and carry. They don't have time to be going to a bank and all that.
Looking at the intelligence of the South African police, you have found out that this goods and money were stashed in what was supposed to be an ambulance. One would want to say that the South African police intelligence seems to be far more enriched with information and, of course, strategies to get into curb insecurity and this kind of menace. Don't you think so, Barrister?
You see, police cannot act without information anywhere in the world.
Okay.
Yes, people help them by giving them information. It is what they do with the information that matters. I'm sure some people must have blown the whistle on these people. Maybe 1 or 2 persons who knows what they are doing and all that, what they are up to. For them to move swiftly and arrest them.
Yes.
But in your Nigeria, is that the case? No. Rather, they will be in bed with the enemies of the country.
I was going there, Barrister.
Good.
The former governor of Kogi State in Nigeria turned himself in to the EFCC yesterday. Do you think that for some reasons, some quarters have said that the presidency seemed to have told him to do so? And of course, he doesn't have a choice than to obey that. Do you share that opinion?
I do, because if you check when Yaya Bello showed up and when his case came up in court, you will know that there is a conspiracy theory here. He came yesterday, they went to court today, and I'm sure they are going to give him bail. In spite of what we are hearing that there was commotion, the judge stood up and left and all that.
Yes.
He's a bailable offender, they'll give him bail. And the people that will even take him on bail are even with him. They followed him so that he will not spend one day in detention. So, it shows that Yahya Bello's matter has been discussed behind closed door. What you are saying is the fait accompli. It has been discussed behind closed door. That's why he willingly showed up by himself. And nobody accompanied him.
Interesting times. We'll keep our eyes on all of that, Barrister. And of course, we definitely will be bringing it to our viewing audience. Let's get to Southern Sudan.
And with what he has done, though, don't be shocked. When another governor will do worse thing, though, don't be shocked. He has done his own and got away with it. All the hoopla, all the hiding and everything.
Has he finally gotten away with it?
Well, all the hiding and all the embarrassments, everything, has it not died down now? It has died down.
But he is in court.
Do you believe that Yahya Bello will go to jail?
Isn't it possible, Barrister?
Okay. Don't worry yourself, don't worry.
No, Barrister, maybe you help us to understand it. Isn't it possible that
from what we have seen before, this matter will not go anywhere. This matter will not go anywhere. I am telling you that there are people who have done worse things than Yahya Bello. And they are still walking about free. The highest is plea bargain.
But unfortunately.
David, plea bargain is what I'm looking at here. That is
you think that's the toll?
I said if push should come to shove, Yahya Bello will enter plea bargain and walk away. You can never be poor.
Okay. We definitely will be keeping our eyes on that. And, of course,
and nobody can collect all that money from
conversation. Well, we just go to Southern Sudan because of our time, where Southern Sudan presidency reassures calm after rumors of army tension in Bilpam. Now, Barrister, there was an unrest in that part of Southern Sudan because of attempts to arrest a former National Security Service head, General Akol Kor. It was, of course, rumored that General Akol did tell some of his men to open fire on anybody who would want to seize him lawfully. Looking at the fact that this seemed like a military issue, and of course bringing that level of disruption in Juba, do you think, looking at the broader perspective, any other country would want to have relational activities with Southern Sudan with this kind of unrest that is found in places like Juba?
Southern Sudan that just had independence yesterday.
Yes.
Have you asked yourself why they are fighting? These are people who almost finished themselves before their big brother, Sudan itself. Until people like Colin Powell came in and then made a peace deal and they got their independence.
Yeah.
A few months, a few years after, they plunged themselves into war because of what? Western powers. And because of the mineral resources on their own side of Sudan. That was the real issue. You can see. Yeah? At the middle of this fight and killing is what? Mineral resources in Southern Sudan. If not, what else? And Western powers are involved. The guns they are using to fight, we are the one that manufactured it.
Isn't there the level of having patriotic leaders that would holistically stop all of this infiltration that we find in most African countries these days?
It is not possible because when they call you third world, what do you think they are talking about? Is this type of thing? When you don't have leaders. Patriotic leaders who have vision, you don't have them in Africa. That's the major reason. Leaders who will not sell their country because of a plate of porridge.
All right, we'll keep our eyes on this and definitely.
It's unfortunate, seriously. That's why when other country in Africa want to have independence, say, you mean the type of independence Southern Sudan had? Is that what you are going to have? That means there's no guarantee that when you have your independence, there will be peace among you.
Well, again, we would definitely keep our eyes on all of this and, of course, bring you all of the information as the day unfolds. We've been talking with Barrister Darlington Agumo, Voice of the People TV's in-house political analyst, and, of course, a barrister by law. Once again, Barrister, thank you so very much for coming on.
Thank you, David.
We'll take a short break now. When we return, the rest of African news will continue shortly. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Minister of Local Governance in Libya, Bandre Ardain Al-Toumi, has approved an intensive training program designed to equip elected members of municipal councils with the skills needed to perform their duties effectively. During a meeting with ministry officials, Al-Toumi outlined the key components of the program, which covers a range of areas including legal and administrative procedures, digital transformation, urban planning, and project management. The minister emphasized that the success of these municipal councils directly impacts the success of local communities. He also noted that the Municipal Development and Decentralization Support Center will provide ongoing support to ensure the community of development and modernization both during and after the training. Still in Libya, the United Nations Support Mission in Libya, that's the UNSMIL, has urged Libyan officials to exercise caution in their language, warning that careless words could escalate tension in the country. Samira Bousalama, a member of UNSMIL's human rights team, made this appeal during a workshop under the Youth Participate program, which engaged participants nationwide to address the surge of hate speech, especially on social media. Participants identified hate speech as a major driver to social conflicts in Libya, emphasizing the delicate balance between constructive criticism and divisive rhetorics. They noted that polarization in media and online platforms has intensified hate speech and misinformation, threatening Libya's fragile social cohesion. The workshop underscores the need for public awareness and accountability among leaders to curb the growing impact of harmful languages. Moving on, the African National Congress, ANC, has extended its condolences to the loved ones of renowned poet and anti-apartheid activist Bertel Breitenbach, who passed away at 85 on Sunday in Paris, France. Breitenbach was born in the small town Western Cape town of Bonneval in 1939, at a time when Afrikaans were emerging with a distinct identity as a language. The 85-year-old had not lived in South Africa for decades, living in the early 1960s to settle in Paris, where he became a global voice against apartheid. The party described Breitenbach as a towering figure in South African and global literature. He was known for his exploration of exile, identity, and justice through his acclaimed works, such as The True Confession of an Albino Terrorist and A Season in Paradise. The party said his contribution to the arts transcended boundaries, and his commitment to social justice and the fight against apartheid remain an enduring legacy. In a statement by ANC spokesperson Malengi Wengi Motsiri, the party noted that the courage and vision Breitenbach brought with his craft will ensure that his memory continues to inspire generations. You're still watching the African News on Voice of the People TV. More stories in business and sports after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now to some business stories. International cocoa buyers have paid at least $500 million upfront to Ghana's Cocoa Board to secure supplies and prevent further losses after significant changes to the country's cocoa marketing system. For the first time since 1992, Cocoa Board is bypassing traditional bank loans to financing its purchases, instead requiring private firms to make advance payments and manage crop financing directly. This shift, intended to reduce costs, comes after the regulator struggled with declining production and mismanagement, leaving traders concerned about risking about rising risk and uncertain cocoa supplies. Ghana, the world's second largest cocoa grower, faces challenges after failing to deliver up to 350,000 metric tons of cocoa from last season, costing traders $1 billion in future market losses. To mitigate further losses, Cocoa Board is blending unfulfilled contracts at last season's prices with new contracts at near record spot prices, raising financial risk for companies. Analysts project that meeting all commitments requires a harvest of about 900,000 tons, significantly higher than Cocoa Board's 650,000 ton estimated. Traders warn of supply shortfalls and declining interest in Ghana's cocoa as chocolate manufacturers look to diversify sourcing. Despite Cocoa Board's assurance that the new system is working, smaller players report greater exposure to risk while larger firms gain advantages due to established supply chains. The cocoa sector faces additional uncertainty with next month's election in Ghana, fluctuating production levels, and record high global cocoa prices, which could further impact holiday chocolate costs. Still talking business, OpenAI, Meta, and Orange have announced a groundbreaking collaboration to create artificial intelligence models tailored for African languages. The initiative, set to commence in early 2025, will focus initially on Wolof and Pula, two West African languages spoken by 22 million people. Orange plans to integrate these models for customer engagement across its 18 markets in the Middle East and Africa, as well as for public health, education, and local business applications. The collaboration will expand to include languages such as Lingala, Swahili, and Bambara by late 2025. Orange will leverage its European and African cloud infrastructure to train the AI model while relying on OpenAI's advanced AI system for data processing and hosting. This effort addresses the lack of AI system for Africa's diverse linguistic communities, which comprise 1/3 of the world's languages but remain unprecedented in AI development. This move aligns with Africa's growing focus on AI as a tool for economic development. Nigeria, for instance, aims to inject $15 billion into its economy by 2030 through AI-driven initiatives, including training 125,000 youths with AI skills via a 2.8 billion naira Google grant. Lagos State is also introducing Nigeria's first AI guidelines to ensure the responsible use of technology by 2025. And from business, we move straight to sports stories, where Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie, has expressed delight in the commencement of a process that could lead to South Africa's hosting the 2036 Olympic Games. He said this after wrapping up a meeting with the International Olympic Committee, IOC, at Olympic House in Lausanne, Switzerland. According to a press release, the minister was joined by the president of the South African Sports Confederation,